Hello friends, I welcome all of you to joining me again in this session which is basically GST rules for e-commerce operator. So what are the topics we are going to discuss today? It will be on the next slides. So without wasting any time, let's discuss this session. Friends, so topic in for today of our today agenda is introduction of e-commerce. So in this topic we will discuss what is e-commerce, and I have also described one graphical representation of e-commerce concept. We will see this and then some example in latest scenario of the e-commerce. Then to topic number 2, business model e-commerce. We will discuss the what are the business model exist in the e-commerce scenario, and how the e-commerce operators operate their business. Rule number 3, TCS rules. What are the threshold to charge the TCS? What are the rate of TDS? On what value TCS would be charged? And the time period within which a TCS shall be paid by the e-commerce operator. Regulatory compliance, we will discuss about the GSTR submission, what form is filed by e-commerce operator, if there is any discrepancy between the supplier and the e-commerce operator, so how they will resolve this issue. What are the penalties in case of non-submission of notice, non-submission of response of the notice issued by the GST authority by the e-commerce operators, and many more. Relevant facts, we will discuss about the what are the concept supply of services through e-commerce operator and the supply of services of export in case of e-commerce through e-commerce operator. So this is our today agenda. So let's start. Friends, nowadays we are doing online shopping, we are purchasing mobile and other household goods through online. So this is basically e-commerce concept in which we place the order online. Suppose we are doing shopping on Amazon, so we place a order on Amazon. Amazon is a e-commerce operator. It forwarded our order to the supplier, and then supplier packed the good, dispatched to our address. So he is basically intermediary between the actual supplier and the customer. For the whatever the payment we made online to the e-commerce operators, he collect 1% TCS case of interstate supply, or if it is a interstate supply, so 5.5% CGST and 0.5% SGST he will collect from the payment made to the supplier. So whole exercise is done on monthly basis. Okay, so here you can see I have mentioned the graphical representation. We place the order, means the customer placed the order, e-commerce operator received the order and forward to the actual supplier based on the availability of the goods, and then supplier pack and dispatch goods to the customer. So the supplier does not know the customer, he just only, because we will discuss why there are 3 and 4 business model we will discuss in the next slide, then we will understand this concept. So whatever the TCS collected by the e-commerce operator, supplier can take input credit of such TCS collected. So this is the introduction of e-commerce. Point number 2, business model of e-commerce. So there are 3 business model: business to business, consumer to consumer, and business to consumer. In business to business means business to business, business is done between the suppliers and the distributors and other supply chain management persons. Consumer to consumers, individual person do business online, like selling their second hand goods on eBay. This is the one of the best example. Business to consumers means we purchase goods through Amazon and Flipkart. So this is the dealing between the business to consumers, company to consumers. Then how e-commerce business operates. So there are another 3 models: market model, aggregator model, and inventory model. Under market model, e-commerce operator does not store any goods. They directly place order to the manufacturer and the supplier, and the what payment made by the customer to the e-commerce operator make payment to the manufacturer or supplier by deducting their commission. Okay, so there are three conditions, means goods supplied by manufacturer and distributor, payment made through e-commerce operator, no inventory maintained by the e-commerce operator. Aggregator model means if the e-commerce operator wants to sell his goods under his own invoice with their brand name, so they follow this model, in which they buy the goods from the manufacturer or a supplier, store that goods, make the branding of that goods, and then sell to the ultimate user. In inventory model, they buy goods, store the goods, means maintain the inventory, and sell to the customer without any branding name. So these are the three type of model in this e-commerce business. Topic number 3, TCS rules of e-commerce operator. TCS, whatever the supply made through e-commerce business, e-commerce operator shall collect the TCS from each and every supplier for each individual supply. It shall be on a billing basis, not a collection basis. Number 1, rate of TCS cannot be exceed 1%. Okay, for if there is a interstate supply, it will charge 1% IGST TCS. If it is interstate supply, means within the state, then it will charge 0.5 CGST or SGST accordingly. Then TCS shall be charged on a net value of taxable supply. What does it mean? It means whatever the total supply made by a particular supplier during the month, you will exclude the sales return, whatever the goods returned to the supplier, that will be excluded. Second, no taxable supply would be included, no value of taxable supply will be included in this section, which is come under section 9 subsection 5, which says that any such of supply of services on which e-commerce operator liable to pay tax, in that cases you have to exclude the value of these supplies. Okay, no TCS shall be charged on the supply made under reverse charge mechanism or a supply which is come under the exempt category. We have to keep in mind these things. Whatever the TCS collected by e-commerce operator during the month, he shall be liable to pay it within 10 days after end of that month. Okay, if sales return is more than the aggregate supply made during the month, so no TCS shall be charged. There shall be a no concept to charge TCS on negative taxable supplies. So these are the concept. In addition to that, I would like to include few things. T-board also a e-commerce operator. T-board means there are some auctions to sell the trading of tea, in which collection and the settlement of the payment, it is liable to deduct the TCS under these rules. Okay, this is topic number 3. Topic number 4, regulatory compliance under GST for e-commerce operator. So the first point is that every e-commerce operator must have a GST registration in respect of turnover, which means that to get the GST registration number, there are some threshold limits, 40 lakhs, 20 lakhs or 10 lakh or 20 lakh, the case may be. But for the e-commerce operator, there is a no threshold limit. Even he has a business of 10 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees, he must have to take the GST registration number. Second thing, if e-commerce operator has a suppliers in different states, so he is liable to get the GST registration number for each state. Okay, he can indicate his head office as a place of his business. If he does not have a place of business in that state, so all return shall be filed through his head office. Number 2. Number 3, supplier of goods must have a GST supplier of goods, not a supplier of services. Supplier of goods must have a GST number who deal with the e-commerce operator. It is mandatory. Threshold limit is also not applicable in that case. Registration supplier who is supplying goods or services through under composition scheme cannot make supply to the e-commerce operator. Okay, whatever the TCS collected by the e-commerce operator, he must have to file a return which is GSTR 8 from the end of the within 10 days from the end of the month. So because this is basically the details of the supply made and tax collected, because it is necessary to submit, by which the supplier can take input credit based on the detail filed by the e-commerce operator to GSTR 8. Annual return also applicable for e-commerce operator, which is form 9b, and which shall be filed before 31st December of the following year from the for the previous financial years. Okay, so these are some regulatory compliance we discussed in the topic number 4. Topic number 4.1, regulatory compliance under GST for e-commerce operator. This is the part 2 of the previous slide. So we discussed that the whatever the TCS collected or and the supply made through e-commerce operator, it filed the return under GSTR 8, and same detail furnished by the supplier by GSTR 1. So both value of taxable value should be matched. If there is any discrepancies, in that case it shall be communicated to the supplier by form GST MIS 5, and for e-commerce operator MIS GST MIS 6 on or before the last date of the month in which matching has been carried out. So this is an important concept. Why? Because if no rectification made on behalf of supplier, so addition of the GST liability should be made by adding that liability into GSTR 3B of the supplier. Okay, and supplier has to pay tax with interest also on this mismatch. So it is very important, reconciliation must be done. Okay, supplier of services through e-commerce operator is not mandatory to take the GST registration number if it is turnover during the financial year less than the threshold limit. Okay, second thing, sometimes authority not below the rank of deputy commissioner may send notice to the electronic commerce operator and asking for few details like supply of goods or services through during a particular period, stock of goods held by the supplier, making supply through such operator in godown and warehouses. So in that case he may ask some additional information for the e-commerce operator. So e-commerce operator must have to reply within 5 days. If he failed to do so, so he shall be charged with the maximum penalty 25,000 rupees. So this is the concept. So this is the regulatory compliance other under GST. Topic number 5, relevant facts. So here we will discuss some few points which are miscellaneous in nature. First point is supply of services. As we know that in the case of supply of services, e-commerce operator is liable to pay tax, but there are 3 different conditions. First condition is that if our entire tax is payable by the e-commerce operator, so in that case the person supplier of services need not to take registration, GST registration, if it is less than the threshold limit. Number 1. In case of no physical person in a particular state of e-commerce operator, means there are no physical persons of e-commerce operator in a particular state, so representative or any person may be represent the e-commerce operator in that state, liable to pay tax on behalf of e-commerce operator. If in case there is no physical persons and no representative or in that state of e-commerce operator, in that case e-commerce operator appoint an agent and then pay the tax. For radio taxi, motor cab, maxi cab, motorcycle, e-commerce operator pay tax at the rate 5%. For interstate supply 2.5%, and for CGST and SGST for intrastate supply. Okay. For housekeeping services, before discuss the housekeeping services, for services which is any registered supplier means suppose some hotels, inning, guest house, campsites, which are some commercial place used for residential purpose or lodging purpose, they have a GST registration number. So in that case e-commerce operator only pay tax on the commission received from such services. Okay, but for homestay services or guest house services in which the supplier services has a turnover which is less than the threshold limit, in that case e-commerce operator liable to pay. the tax. Housekeeping services like plumbing, carpenter services, if they are not a registered, if their turnover, agreed turnover during the financial year more than the threshold limits, like 40 lakh or 20 lakh as the case may be, in that case such supplier of services, means housekeeping services or a carpenter plumber service, they shall charge GST at the rate 18%. If their agreed turnover is less than 20 lakhs 40 lakhs, in that case e-commerce operator shall charge 5% GST or 2.5% CGST SGST, and that shall be paid by the e-commerce operator. Okay, sometimes it's happened that the e-commerce operator also deal with the export of goods, so in that case it shall be made to the foreign post office by making the declaration in postal bill of export PB1 form. Okay, export by e-commerce method can be from the any foreign post office. Okay, so these are the concept of the e-commerce operator. Friends, so this is all about the e-commerce process under GST. I hope you enjoyed the session, and the session was very short, but I hope it will make a value addition in your knowledge as well as in your business activities in your profession. So we will come again with a more interesting video. Till then, thank you so much. Good night and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.